Dr. Mel, I know you put in the slides up. Are you able to grab the disclaimer
Yep, I am.
and the quizzes?
Yes, I am.
Dr. Mel gonna get us through here, y'all. So we'll get started in our normal fashion, and instead of going to Barbara, we're gonna be going to Dr. Mel for the disclaimer and the
Yes.
quizzes. So over to you, Dr. Mel.
All righty. Futures and Commodities 101 Trading Group disclaimer. Trading and investing carries a high level of risk. You could lose some or all of your investment. Trading commodities or any other financial instrument may not be suitable for all investors. Before deciding to trade, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. We accept no liability for any losses or damages you may incur. This means you alone are responsible for your actions in any trading or investing activities.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, Dr. Mel, we're gonna stay with you. And
All righty. So let's go to our first quiz of the week. There we go.
I think we had two this week.
Yeah, the first one. When it comes to support and resistance, we refer to support as the ceiling and resistance as the floor. True or false?
Oh,
You're welcome.
Okay, because I couldn't see your answers in the chat, and some people put answers in the chat. Thank you, Mr. Erd. God bless you. Drawing trend lines on the chart can be helpful in multiple ways. Which of the following does trend lines help you identify? So A, the trend. B, support. C, direction of the trend. D, resistance. E, risk management. F, entry exit. G, bear market. H, bull market. I, not sure. J, none of the above. K, all of the above.
I would like to say it's the first one, A, the trend, because some of the answers there, like the they call it what she said earlier, trying to remember the name of it, but some of the answers there would not like the trying to remember the exact thing, which is not coming back to me. That would not be part of the answer. Some of it, the trend.
Okay. So let's read it again. Let's read it again and let's talk this out. Okay. So drawing the trend lines on the chart can be helpful in multiple ways. Which of the following does trend lines help you identify? And let's go through them one by one. Does it help? Do trend lines help us identify the trend?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do trend lines help us identify support?
Yes.
Do trend lines help us identify the direction of the trend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do
Yes.
trend lines help us identify resistance?
Yes.
Do trend lines help us with risk management?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Do trend lines help us with entries and exits into the marketplace?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Does trend lines help us identify whether we're in a bear market or a bull market?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and so those are all the answers. So the answer is all of the above. Did you
Yes.
get that, Ms. Aga?
Yes.
I think I got tied up there. Yes, it's all of the above. Yes.
Okay, so review your notes from the past classes and you'll see that pretty much trend lines do a lot and all those different areas are the areas that trend line helps us to identify. Good.
Yeah.
Good job, class. Good job.
Dr. Man, before we go into, I want to just stay right here for 1 minute if we can, because I just want to say when it comes to the quizzes, y'all, I really appreciate y'all taking it. It helps a lot. I think y'all probably heard this 100 times, but when you answer the quiz, it gives us an idea of how much you're comprehending, how much you're not comprehending, and then gives us you know, an idea of what we need to cover or go back over. And if we don't, we won't know. So appreciate y'all answering the quiz. Now this quiz was a little tougher than the quiz that I normally post, and that was on purpose. Wanted you to see just how much trend lines help us with. Don't know how many of you are aware, but when I first started trading, it's my ego was in the way so much. I didn't want to use trend lines. Okay? I believe in being transparent, putting it out there, you know.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I did not want to use trend line. I had my ego saying, I don't need I can see everything without the trend line. I don't need the trend line. But it was my friend being on me about drawing a trend line on the chart. Draw the trend line on the chart. Then you need to put the trend line on the chart. Man, I don't need no trend line. So I even said, I don't even have my ruler. I can't put the trend line. But Eric went in his backpack and he had a ruler. Man, put the trend line on there. And it took a couple weeks later for me to come back and finally tell him, yeah, man, you're right. The trend line do help a lot more than I realized. So wanted y'all to see just how many, and it's actually more than what I put in the quiz, that trend line help us identify. So just wanted y'all to kind of get an idea of how important it is to use the trend line. So great job, everybody. And I know some of y'all second guessed yourself when it came to the answer because you're trying to figure out which one wasn't. But yeah, it was all of them, all the above. So great job. I recognize that book.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, me too. Kind of familiar.
I hope everybody's getting great value. Let me say, I know you are. If you got this manual, you get great value out of it. Then come to the lesson B training that we have covering what you're reading, going over in the manual. If you don't have this manual, you need to do yourself a big favor and get it. I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. If this manual was priced at $2,500 or $3,000, it would still be worth every dollar. That's how valuable the source resource and the information is that's in this manual. So take advantage of it, especially why it's on sale on Amazon, right? So make sure you get it. And if you do get it on Amazon, we do so kind and leave us a review on Amazon. So let's get going, Dr. Mel. What we got? I know we got something good to go over tonight, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, series on trends and the futures and commodities. That's 2-3 in the manual.
Yes, it is.
All right. So you know what we're covering tonight. It's in your manual on lesson 3. Learn about the uptrend in the market. And what this says, the upward movement of the price over a period of time. This indicates increasing buying pressure, and this pressure occurs within zones of support and resistance on the chart. And that's very, very true. The uptrend lets us know that the market is trading to the upside, and it indicates that there's an increase of buying. Dr. Mel talks all the time about the buyers and the sellers. So we have an uptrend. We know that the buyers are in control, not the sellers. So it's pressure, within the support and resistance area. You'll see that that means that we're going to have higher highs and higher lows when we're in an uptrend. So remember that. And if he gave us that definition of an uptrend, and that's how we can identify using what we just got through covering the trend line. See when we're in an uptrend by drawing the trend lines on the chart, and we'll be able to see, okay, that we are in a uptrend. And the most important thing you want to remember is that buyers are in control. That's why we are trading to the upside instead of the downside. All right. What does the uptrend make? Resistance, higher highs, and higher lows. I just got through saying. You might hear some people saying higher resistance and higher support, but it's saying the same thing. When I say higher highs, higher lows, that means higher resistance, higher support. And that's when you have an uptrend. Anything you want to add, Dr. Mel, Johnny? Okay. Oh,
Johnny said that he would be back. Okay.
okay. Johnny stepped away. All right. Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
So again, we got, some more explanation on the uptrend. Higher highs. This occurs when the current price on the chart is higher than the previous price on the chart. This is what makes an upward momentum and price. Does everybody understand that? Talk about higher highs, higher lows. And this occurs when the current price on the chart is higher than the previous price on the chart. That's how you get that higher high. So higher highs occur on the top side of the trend, not on the bottom. When we have that trend line, we see those higher highs. That's going to be on the top side of the trend, not on the bottom. When we have the higher lows or the higher support, whichever you like to call it, whenever we have that on the chart, that means price is moving at a low point on the chart, but higher than the previous low price on the chart. So that means having the support or the lows moving higher. All right. The price moves in an upward momentum. Higher lows occur at the bottom side of the trend. Read that again. Higher lows occur at the bottom side of the trend. And remember the higher highs, they occur at the top side of the trend. So how many people know that when it comes to looking at the chart, the system that we use and go by, we're not looking for a whole lot on the chart. We watch for formations that form on the chart. These formations form from those support and resistance levels that we've been going over. But we're not watching for a whole lot of things. There's only 3 formations we watch for. And one of those formations is called a 1, 2, 3 top formation. Another one is called a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And then the other one is called a sideways channel. Those are the 3 formations we watch for on the chart. So it's not like you're gonna be looking for 10, 20 things on the chart. All right. Now the number 1 on the chart will be the lowest price on the chart or the highest price on the chart. But just keep in mind, the number 1 is the lowest price on the chart. And it's also part of the support zone on the chart. It is a starting point for the trend. So you see a number 1 is basically indicating that the trend is changing, whether it's from a downtrend or uptrend. And it's getting ready to make a top or a bottom, meaning that the market is topping out or it's either bottoming out, depending on what trend it's been trading in. And it's getting ready to change direction. And basically, from the direction that it's been trading in, it's going to make a top, which will be your number 1. It's going to make a bottom, the lowest price on the chart, which would be your number 1 when it comes to the bottom. So just remember, number 1, lowest price on the chart, or it's going to either be the highest price on the chart. So the number 2 represents your zone of resistance on the chart, which means that the number 2 is going to be either resistance when it's a bottom formation, and it'll be support when it's a top formation. But in this particular case, in an uptrend, the number 2 will be your resistance on the chart. The number 2 is vital to your entry because we use the number 2 when it comes to how we're going to enter into a trade. So get more into that. But there can be multiple number 2s on the chart. And you'll see when we get into going over charts how we have multiple number 2s. And we talked about higher highs and higher lows. So this can be multiple 2s can be on the chart. This will be the higher high. The number 2 is always going to be higher than the number 1 and the number 3 in a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It's going to always be higher. Remember that. That's something good to remember. Number 2 is going to always be higher. So your number 1 will be your support, and number 2 will be your resistance. And number 3 is going to be another part of the support zone with the number 1 on the chart. The number 1, the number is vital to your risk exit. Say that again. The number 3 is really important because it's going to be tied into your exit. The number 2 is going to be helping you with the entry, and the 3 is going to be our number we're going to use for our exit in a trade. So remember, 2 for the entry, 3 for the exit. That could be multiple 3s on the chart, just like that could be multiple 2s on the chart. This is your higher low. This number is always lower than number 2, but higher than the number 1. So anything you want to add, Dr. Mel or Johnny, at any time, y'all can just come in. All right. Chanel, you want to do this with your better eyes than me?
Yep, I sure can.
Okay.
So pretty much this is the bar chart corn December 25. And when you look at it, it's a daily chart. It's a 6-month chart. And what we have depicted here is the actual chart showing you the formation that we just taught on and what each number represents. So we said in an uptrend, your number 1 is your lowest point on the chart. And how do we know the number 1 is the lowest point on the chart? You see this little half moon U right here? That's telling you that's the lowest point on the chart. And so you label that number 1. Then the price, the market price progresses upward, higher. And so it makes what's called a number 2, which is higher than the number 1. Then the market price lowers and becomes a higher low because it's higher than the number 1, but it's lower than the previous higher high, which was a number 2. And so we label that number 3, and that's an area of support. So let's do this. Let's go over this again. The number 1 is the lowest point on the chart, and it's signified by the half moon that you're seeing underneath this bar. And that's a support zone. Market price increases, goes up, and forms what's called a number 2, which is a higher high because it's higher than the number 1. Market price decreases, forms a number 3, but the number 3 does not go lower than the number 1, so it's considered a higher low. It's a higher low because it's lower than the number 2, but it's still higher than the number 1. The market progresses upward again in price action, and it forms another number 2 because this area in price is higher than the last number 2, so it's considered a higher high. Market price action decreases, but it's higher than the last number 3, so it's considered a higher low because it's higher than the last low. And it continues to do this back and forth continually all the way up until the market gets to the point where the bulls are no longer in control and the bears decide that they've had enough of the bulls dominating, and then the market starts to do something different. And so, as you can see, these trend lines, these green lines, like we discussed in the quiz question, these trend lines, when you line them up, touching all the higher highs and touching all the higher lows, it's telling you what trend you're in. So that's why trend lines can tell you whether you're in a bull market, whether you're in an uptrend. It can tell you areas of resistance, tell you areas of support, because this trend line is telling you the areas of resistance that's happening in the market. This trend line is telling you areas of support that's happening in the market with the price action. So trend lines, like we said in the quiz question, is giving you a lot of information. And so that's why we use them. Mr. Wright, Mr. Johnny, anything else you guys need to add concerning this chart?
Great job.
Oh, you did great.
Okay.
Well, there's one thing I would like to add, I guess.
Yes, sir.
All right. To establish a trend, You notice it hit that top line at least 3 times.
Yes, it did.
So
That's
that
important.
establishes an uptrend. And so the trend continued until it broke the support line and formed another 1, 2, 3 top. Okay, which meant another reversal. Okay.
Trend lines help us so much, like you said, Dr. Mel. And you get to see, like Johnny just pointed out, you see what the trend changed. Remember how we talked about just a minute ago about the number 1 point, but in this case, you get to see. But we broke the trend line, and the trend started to change. Perfect example. Nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. Okay, so we're at the question and answer session.
You know what?
What?
Perfect example. Perfect real example I could talk about for a second, Dr. Mel. We had a trade that we did together in the Lane Hall, and we was looking at that chart, and Pam was asking about, well, how would you know when to get out of that trade? I don't know if Pam is on the call, but she had a question about that.
Yeah, and that answered it for me. I just saw that because I thought
You
the
saw
same
that?
thing. Yeah, I thought the same thing. I said, there's the answer to the question. Yes.
Yeah, and we have a advanced group where we go over some stuff that we don't go over in this group. So I can't wait for some of y'all to get invited to that group. But the hog trade that we was in, Dr. Melvin posted a question in the room asking me was I gonna give all my profit back because the market was starting to trade against and go in the opposite direction. And Dr. Mel, what was my answer to getting, starting to prepare to get out of the trade? What was I watching and paying attention to?
You said the next candle, if it closes, well, of course, the trade was in a downtrend, and the trend is our friend. So we were trading the market to the downside in hogs, lean hogs. And the market looked like it was turning and going back into an uptrend. And so if it goes into an uptrend, we're starting to lose profits at this point because the market's now going in the opposite direction and decreasing our profit margin. And so he said to me, of course, my emotions are flying high because both Mr. Wright and I, and probably several others, were in this trade together. And my question to him was, are you giving the market back all your profit? Because he's gotten into this trade way before I did. And I know he's sitting pretty. And he says to me, if the next candle closes above the trend line, I'm getting out. Is what he said. And I said, if he's getting out, I'm getting out too.
And I'm bringing this up to go back to our quiz question. We said that the trend line helped us with a lot of things. You see how the trend line was my exit strategy?
It was risk management, yes.
Yes. Hope everybody see that. And then the answer Pam's question too. So excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's open it up. We went over some important stuff tonight again, because when it comes to the charts, we need to go at a pace that y'all can understand and catch it and get it, and not be rushing to this, rushing to that. So we want to just cover, like tonight, just cover the uptrend side and stay on the uptrend side and see if that will help you get the uptrend part before we even talk about anything else. So anybody have any questions or comments about what we went over? If you wasn't clear about something, now is the time to get clarity on
I have a question.
it. Okay, Alan, what you got?
I'm sorry I came in late, but I
Mhm.
did want to know the answer to the quiz.
It was a
I'm
good one, wasn't
sorry.
it? The answer was all the above. It was everything but not sure and none of the above. So
Okay, thank you.
everything but I and J.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I have a question.
Mhm.
Back to the chart that Dr. Melba was showing us earlier.
Mhm.
How does she said that the number one was indicated because of a moon shape something underneath. Is that something that bar chart does or
Mhm.
okay. I just wanted to make sure that's how that arrived. I can't really see it, but I wanted to make sure that it wasn't something I was supposed to find or create, but you're saying bar chart does that automatically?
Correct. If
Okay.
if Dr. Mayer went to bar chart right now, Pam, no matter what chart she went to, every one of those charts are gonna have that half moon
Okay.
Yeah.
on the chart. Yeah.
Okay.
And that half moon represents the lowest price
On the chart.
on that chart in the last 6 months.
Okay.
If you were in the 2 month chart, it would be the lowest price on the chart for the last 2 months.
Okay.
If it was a 1 year chart, it would be the lowest price on the chart for the past year.
Okay.
So I'm giving you, what it's relative to. So it may not be the same price on each chart. It depends on what kind of price action that took place within the time frame of the chart that you're looking at. Make
Okay.
sense?
Yes, ma'am, it does. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like other chart systems, that's why we use bar chart. Other chart systems don't give you that information. Because I don't even think TradeStation does, because I've never seen it. But the beauty with bar chart, it gives you the lowest and it also gives you the highest because you see the same emblem
Oh, I can see it
at the
now.
top.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
it now. All right.
just like you can see it on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone over 50% retracement, Mr. Wright and Mr. Johnny.
I hope so. I'm not sure because when I was talking about that with Pam last week, when she said I don't remember that, made me start wondering if we went over yet.
Okay, all right, we'll review it
Yeah, I
with
feel
with Barbara. But I for some reason I think we went over 50% retracement early on,
okay.
especially when we went over bar chart, how to get an account with bar chart. Because I think back then we started asking folks to start doing 50% retracements.
Okay.
So we can go over it in the review. Okay. Any other questions about this chart? Because this chart gives us a lot of information, but it's information it's relative to understanding the concept of an uptrend, a bull market, trading the market to the upside. Very important. Especially the point that Mr. Johnny made about how do you establish a trend? And it has to do with how many times the trend line is being touched by the market for you to say, okay, the trend is established in an uptrend because it's hit the upper trend line at least 3 times.
That's right.
Any questions?
I can feel them, Dr. May. I feel the questions.
I know, right?
I thought I had a question about the when you pointed out, Dr. Melba, the second two on the trend line on the chart being higher, and I was like, how is it higher? 'Cause I didn't, but then when I looked at it very closely, I already saw how it was higher than the first two.
This 2 right here,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, because when you put your cursor here, you'll see over here, there's a line on bar chart that will show up and it'll tell you where the price was at that moment. And if you put your line over here, you'll notice
Yes.
it's going to be lower. And that's the only way you can tell is when you actually open your bar chart accounts, you know, and you put your cursor right there. It'll tell you exactly what the price was there. And when you put your price here, you'll notice it was higher. Although when it plays with your eyes, when you look at the chart, you're like, that too sure looks lower than this.
Yeah, and that's what like, oh, that looks lower. But then when I looked at it really closely, it was higher than the first one. So
Yeah.
your first two on your uptrend, the first two that's your entry point for entering into the market, right?
Are we doing 1, 2, 3 bottom entries and exits and all that tonight? I think that's another class, Jamal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
look at
we're just establishing what an uptrend looks like.
Okay.
A number 2 is an area of resistance. A number 3 is an area of support. And then how to identify higher highs, how to identify higher lows, training the eyes for those things. Because until you can see higher highs and higher lows, you won't know where 1, 2, 3 is or where entry is and where exit is. So we've got to train our eyes for the fundamentals of number 2s are higher highs, number 3s are higher lows, number 1s are the lowest point on the chart or the highest point on the chart. So once we grasp those concepts, then we can start talking about how do we enter the market and make some money.
Okay, all right.
Dr.
Yes, dear.
Dr. Melba. Right. So concerning number 1 would be the support, number 2 would be the ceiling, and number 3 will go back to support, but it is on the up when you're dealing with the uptrend, it will be this number 3 will be support again, but it will be a higher low. Correct, right?
Correct.
Right. So when you're dealing with we didn't discuss the down chart, but I just want to ask one time. When you're going with the downtrend, number 1 will be the ceiling, number 2 will be the support, and number 3 will be, I think I'm mixing up that one, the number.
No, you're not. It'll be number 3 will be the new ceiling.
Right.
You're doing good.
You was doing good.
I know she was. She's awesome. I was like, oh, she's teaching the class. All right now.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yes, you understand. Very good.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Is everyone seeing the higher highs and the higher lows?
Yeah. I do have a question.
Okay.
So whenever you see the trend going down, right? And so our goal is to make money whether it goes up or go down, especially if we follow the trend. I think earlier it was like, not being in your emotions and just following the trend. So on the way down, do we put our stop loss the same way we would do if it was on its way up before it go down? Does that make sense? My question makes sense?
Rasheed, ask the question one more time if you don't mind.
All right, bet. So what I'm looking at is the way that we study the trend going upward. But I do understand that we can also make money when the trend is going down.
Uh-huh.
So on the downtrend, because I understand that as it's going up, we create a stop loss, right? In order for us not to like have it where it's going too far and we wind up losing our money versus getting out before it goes back down again. Is that so? What I'm asking is it the same premise on our way when it's going down? Do we try to predict a stop loss for ourselves on the way down the same way we do on the way up before it go down, or do we do it as it's going down before it goes back up? Does
Yeah,
that
we
make
use
sense?
It's just the opposite of what you do.
we use the same principle, the same strategy, no matter if it's up or down. We trade the market up or down, and we use that number three to help us with our stop loss. So when we get into that, it's gonna
Gotcha.
make a whole lot of more sense. But yeah, it's the same way we trade up that we traded when we traded down.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
That's a good
'Cause, yeah,
question.
because
Real good
Yeah.
yeah,
question.
because the reason why I was asking that is learning how to read the charts. Like I had other questions, but whenever you actually pulled the chart up and showed us how to put the trend lines on there, I didn't have no questions except for is it the same way as we do when it goes down. So that way you could just be in, not looking for it just to go up. So yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we just want the prices to be moving, Rasheed, because we can take advantage of the market no matter which direction it's trading in.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
But in order to know where you're getting in the market, where you're getting out of the market, you have to be able to recognize higher highs and higher lows when you're trading the market up. And so
Yeah, that makes
we're
sense.
spending time tonight training our eyes to be able to see the lowest point on the chart, the highest point on the chart, signified by that little half moon, and then recognizing higher highs and recognizing higher lows, what they look like on a chart. Recognizing an upper trend line connecting all the higher highs and a lower trend line connecting all the higher lows. So as you guys open up your bar chart accounts this week, start recognizing and labeling your trend lines so that you can see uptrends this week. So just look for uptrends this week and start labeling your 1, 2s, and your 3s. Okay, so by the time we meet again next week, you have that solidified and you're able to grow to the next level, which most likely will be recognizing downtrends. Okay?
and that account that he's referring to, it's a free account, guys. It don't take you but a minute or two. How long did it take you tomorrow to get that account on bar chart?
Not long at all. I'll probably about 5 minutes, if that long.
Yeah, it don't take no time, so it's gonna be beneficial to you to make sure you get that bar chart account free. You got a paid account if you want to pay for one, but they also have one that's free. So take a few minutes to open up that account. Any more questions or comments, guys? I know we got a few more minutes left, but if you got any questions about what we went over tonight, comments that about anything we went over tonight. And now's the time. And y'all know I'm gonna quiz you, but you better go and get that. Go and get clarity now.
Dr. Melva, could you go back to that chart again? I had a question. Please. All right. I was wondering with the very next to the last okay, no. I see. As soon as you did it, okay, all right, I see now. Never mind. I see.
You good, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Like it's obvious. Like, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, if we don't have any more questions or comments, guess we can end right here. And you can watch out for the call. I mean, for the in the group, for the quizzes.
And for those of you that have the manual, this was lesson 3 in the manual, what we went over tonight, in case you wanted to review it in the manual during the week until we meet again.
Yes.
Right.
All right.
All right. Well, that's all we have for tonight, everybody. Y'all have a good one and good night.
Good night. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
Night.
all.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Great
Well,
class.
Thank you.
Night,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Thank you. Good night.